Do we have, okay, we're recording. Welcome, welcome. My name's Stephanie Don. I am the chair of the Million Mom Movement, and we are a movement of many. We are moms, dads, grandparents, concerned citizens who are deeply devoted to really creating a new world. And what does that mean exactly? It means that we are interested in helping those in our families, our friends, our communities to wake up to what it is that we're eating and how it is that we're feeling. We know here at the Million Mom Movement Council that we are living in a very toxic world and our food is very toxic. And the women that I'm so honored to be on this path with in the council are committed to helping you to really change that. Because as I was just saying in an interview just the other day, I've had multiple interviews. If you're not following us on Instagram, I highly recommend that you do that because we are having some amazing dialogues on Instagram at all of our various handles. Go ahead, Council, and put your handles into the chat box, if you will. We are here to really change life as we know it, and to just really uplift what's going on here on planet Earth, and how it is that we are showing up as activists, as women, as agents of change. So we have such an amazing power hour here created here for you. I want to just go immediately to I want to call on my other council members. So I'd like to Jody Parker. Yeah, Jody, will you please come on and share the pledge, because this is really where we just earth what it is that we're up to here. Thank you, Jody.
Absolutely. It looks like my 7-year-old's joining me today. I'm going to share my screen so you can all read along right with me. And when I do this, this is, wait, did I share the wrong one? No, there we go. This is our website, millionmommovement.info. This is what you see when you get here. And just to make everybody feel secure, we are the only ones who get that information. We do not share it. If you come here under movement and join, that is another place you can join. That little pop-up does the same thing. You can join right here, but underneath it, that's where you'll find our pledge. And we just recently rewrote this pledge to fit how we've grown in the last year. And so read along with me, please. Million Mom Movement Pledge. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. All right, passing it back so we can keep moving today.
So great. Thank you so much, Jody, and your assistant. We're so grateful you're here. So, Carmela Velarde, I would love to bring you on to talk about our scholarships, which I am so proud of the fact that we give back to the degree that we do. Are you with us? There you are. Hi, Carmela.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Council. Hi, everyone today. Happy Friday. I'm super happy to be here with you guys. And our scholarships, I love this topic because I've just recently acquired more in my team who are recipients. And it's so fun. I cannot tell you how much of a blessing it is to give back. And really, there are 4 people with economic need monthly that we get to reward for them taking a stand for what we're all about here in Million Mom Movement. We're looking for people who are caregivers. So they could be aunties, uncles, dads, moms also, of course, who are in economic need that really want to share their story, who want to take this pledge with us and be public about why they're taking a stand and how they're integrating it into their lives. And so $1,250 US dollars, so that's 3 months of organic superfoods along with a business, are going to be your path to allow yourself with a mentor and the upline through which the council is really your upline. We are supporting you. You have a whole community of resources through the Million Mom Movement. Everything we have, we offer it as your branding, as your marketing. So there's so much that we can offer someone new this coming month. So please make a mental note to bring them to our website and go to the scholarships tab and really take a look at the application so that you know how to share it to other people. But we are looking for empowered storytellers. And if you know some, or some recipients are here, be more empowered than you are today. Take take all that you're gathering here on these Fierce Fridays and move it into your brand. Because without you as an impact to the world around, the community around, we're all leveraging each other's voices. So definitely, I'm a proud council member to support the sponsors and the diamonds and the recipients. So a little bit about the scholarships. Pass the mic over.
Thank you so much, Carmela. Yeah, so if you know anyone, any families in need, anyone that would benefit from this business forward scholarship that also has superfoods included in it, reach out to them and send them to our website. Go ahead and put, if you haven't already, I'm not seeing the chat here. Oh, that's because I haven't activated the chat. If one of you, there, it's all there. Beautiful. Right on, you guys. Woohoo. So, Naeva Flory, our social media maven, what would we do without you? She heads up Instagram, Facebook, all of our posts there. If you're seeing what's going on those platforms, we thank Naeva. Would you come on and say a little bit, Naeva, about those platforms and also speak to the petition that we've got going on right now for glyphosate?
Sure. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone. So yeah, we've started a petition a little over a year ago, thanks to Stephanie Dawn and the rest of the council all coming together with one common goal, is that we're all really concerned about the quality of our food. And so with that, we decided that first we'd do a letter writing campaign, and that was a whole lot of fun. And we soon realized that everybody's way too busy to be writing letters or to be reading letters or checking their email to see if they got a response back. And so we decided to pivot and make a petition. Now, this petition has been out for a little over a year now, and I would love, love, love to get it to 1,000 signatures so that we can move forward and create new petitions or, create bigger petitions, whatever that may look like. So please help us spread the word. I saw that somebody already posted the petition link in the comments. So go ahead. Even right now, you can go click on that link, sign the petition if you haven't already. A really helpful way to share this petition is to make a blog post on your Facebook wall and just ask a simple question. What do you know about the toxic effects of our food? Are you aware that there's glyphosate in 75% of our food? Find a question that resonates with you and ask it to your community, your audience out there on Facebook. And as they respond to you, or you might even just straight up ask them, if there was a petition to remove toxic chemicals from your food, would you sign it? And then as people respond, you can send them the link. So that's a really productive way to get people actually signing the petition. So if any of you want to take that on, I would love to encourage you. And then on the social media side of things, I have the honor to get to share via our platforms. So what platforms do we have? We have a Twitter account through Million Mom Movement. We have a Facebook page, Million Mom Movement. We also have a Facebook group that you can join. And within that group, you can share your story. You can interact with other community members. Have fun. Go live in there if you'd like to share. And if you're doing wide in your reach and you're maybe a little bit shy about going live on your personal wall, I encourage you to go live within that group. It's a safe space. We're going to encourage you and love you up, and you don't have to be afraid of going live in front of us. The last one is our Instagram page, and that is where I primarily feature you. If you make a post and you use our hashtags, either hashtag Million Mom Movement, hashtag I am the Million Mom Movement, or the hashtag We Are the Million Mom Movement, those are the ones that I most commonly look for. And if you use those in your post or if you tag the Million Mom Movement, specifically at Million Mom Movement, It makes it easier for me to find your post, and I can then repost you on our page, or at the very least share your story within our stories through the Million Mom Movement. So that's a little bit about what I do. Lastly, I just want to let you all know we do have a giveaway right now happening on Instagram. We would like to create our Instagram page being an influencer page. And at the moment, being the Million Mom Movement with a little under 3,000 followers doesn't look the best on social media. So if you'd please help me in spreading the word about our giveaways and helping people to follow that page, I would so appreciate it. I would love to have the feature, the influencer, have the Million Mom Movement page be an influencer, because with that feature, we can then add the swipe up feature to read the blog, swipe up to join the Million Mom Movement, swipe up to join Fierce Friday, and the link will be right there. So I would love to have those capabilities. So if you would please help me spread the word about our Instagram page and participate in our giveaway. It's super simple. The rules are all there. So if you haven't seen it yet, please go to our Instagram and check out the giveaway. Share it in your stories, tag some friends, and you'll be entered to win. And the drawing is Sunday at midnight Pacific time. So we still have the whole weekend, you guys. All right, that's it for now. Back to you, Stephanie.
I don't think you said what we're giving away. What are we giving away, Naiva?
Oh, of course. And the giveaway is, that's the most exciting part, right? And we're giving away a biomedic and the toxin that came to dinner, the book that actually explains the issue versus the solution. So we're giving away the solution, and we're giving them a tool to educate themselves so that whoever wins can actually learn what it is that this biomedic is doing for their body.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Naiva, for all that you do and for everything that the council does. We wake up in service to you every day. That's what we do. And so it is such a gift that we get to do this. So without further ado, I would like to bring on my colleague Taz Ferreira, who really lives this, what it is that she's about to share. You might notice in the Million Mom Movement official group on Facebook, Taz is going live. She's sharing recipes. She has an incredible story. Maybe you could just speak a little bit to that today, Taz, but she has an incredible presentation for us. We're going to be going back and forth here today because I've got some comments that I'm going to be making about what my journey has been in terms of this whole SAD to RAD experience, because I'm not perfect. I don't think any of us is perfect, to be honest with you. I don't think that even exists. What I know is that we're all human. We're all doing the best that we can. And, as Amy likes to say, Amy Venner, the founder of the Million Mom Movement, there's good, better, and best. And so there's degrees, right, of that. And so in our pantries, in our homes, in our kitchens. So we're going to show you some of those degrees today. And yeah, Taz, bring it on. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Okay, so this is a topic that's really near and dear to my heart. Like when people see the way I cook and the way I do things today, I'm like, yes, but it didn't always start off this way. I was super unhealthy. So let me tell you guys a little bit about this, okay? So I come from a Brazilian and Venezuelan background, okay? And my mom's family, they're all butchers, okay? Yeah. So meat and dairy was our life, okay? At the Portuguese side as well, lots and lots of seafood. So this is how I lived. Cheese, I could never picture my life not having cheese. This was the way I was brought up. So I started this journey 12 years ago. When I was going through everything, I went through so many health journeys, and I had no idea that food made an impact to the way we lived. Dairy, mucus forming, what? I thought dairy was great for our bones. I had no idea of anything until, I started to do my research, and then I started finding out, well, the food that we're eating is giving us all of these problems. But I didn't want to compromise the taste, right? We get so attached to the taste and the flavor of how we're eating. So I had to come up with ways to make the way I eat, the way my husband eats, the way my kids eat, to make it delicious and tasty. And you guys, you know what? I started this 12 years ago. When I started 12 years ago, we had no options. We had nothing. There was nuts and nuts and more nuts. We had to become creative. I know Jody understands. We had to be creative of how we start our journey. Now, today, if you want to be plant-based, it's so much easier. If you're craving vegan cheese, you have an alternative. Vegan butter, there's something for that. There's something for everyone. So on today's call, we want to talk about from sad to rad. Okay, I have to give this up to Jody's son. Okay, Jody's son came up with this amazing acronym. Okay, SAD is a sad American diet, and RAD, this is a real American diet. So we are showing you how to transition, how to change your life, and not only your life, your whole entire family's life. Okay, through flavor, delicious food, and how easy it can be. And you know what? You need to note this, that it's not just because it's plant-based, it's healthy. Because it's vegan, it's healthy. That doesn't mean anything. There's so many vegan food out there that if we don't turn around and read the ingredients, you see how processed it is. So we're going to be showing you what to avoid and what we suggest, and all types of suggestions today. So should I just go into it, Steph?
Yeah, let's, Taz has this incredible presentation of slides, which we're hopeful that will become a PDF in our Purium app, because we're working on way more tools for you all to be sharing the brilliance of what it is that we, how we can promote the Million Mom movement through that app. So Taz is going to start with sugar.
Sugar, exactly. Can you guys see the screen well?
It needs to be a little bit bigger, Taz. We're only seeing one.
Okay.
There you go. Yep, there you go.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I get these questions all the time. What do I use? What can I use to replace this? Okay, so don't panic. Let me show you easy ways. The number one question I get is sugars. There's so many artificial sugars out there. When you turn a package of the cookies, all you see is white sugar, cane sugar if it's not organic. There's so many types of sugars. So let me show you healthy ways to use sugar. So when we're using white sugar, you can replace it with coconut sugar. I love coconut sugar. You have monk fruit. Oh, I forgot to write it there. You have date sugar. And this is a sugar that you can use one for one. It's an easy replacement. And now you have all minerals that are attached to it. So you have minerals, you have all these vitamins, and it's so good for you. And you know what? The kids won't notice, you won't notice, and you'll only feel better.
Hey, Taz, let me just interrupt you for 1 second, because I think that this was a big learning curve for me, right? White sugar, processed sugar, it's bleached even, right? I mean, it's like, it's devoid of any minerals or any nutrients, right? And this is what I love about all these options that you're giving, is they're packed with nutrients, they're packed with minerals, and more flavorful, to be honest, right, Taz, than white sugar.
Exactly. White sugar is actually bleached beets. Okay. So it's not good for you at all. And it causes inflammation in your body. It causes so much of, from ADHD to behavioral, so many stuff in the body causes the addiction of white sugar. So now when we just replace it, this is giving us minerals and nutrients, and now your food is being transformed into a nutrient-dense food, okay? And then when you're cooking and you're baking, you need liquid sugars, right? So instead of using high fructose glucose, now we can replace that with maple syrup, yacon syrup. Have you guys ever heard of yacon syrup? Okay, this is something that I've been using since I was little. It's a South American, it's from the cassava root, okay? The extract, the yacon syrup, it is so high in minerals and it's so delicious. You can use a little and it goes a long way. But if you can't find a yacon syrup, you could use honey or raw organic honey. You can use molasses. There's so many things that you actually can use to replace this. And with the molasses, you're getting iron, you're getting so many nutrients that you didn't have in those glucose. Okay. And now, okay, you guys love caramel sauce? I know I used to love caramel sauce. You know, like flan, when you would have the caramel sauce at the bottom, or I know there's like the caramel sauce with apples. So I love making a date syrup. And this is so easy to make. Now you are having fiber and sweetness with your fruit or anything that you pair it with. So all you do is cook down the dates and you make it a syrup, and that's it. You don't have to add anything to it. It's so simple. Lastly, okay, the malt flavor. You know that almost like umami flavor that comes with sweetness? So I like using lucuma powder. Have we heard of lucuma powder? I know this is not something readily available, but you can find it, you know, in Whole Foods or maybe on Amazon. So look for an organic lucuma powder. This tastes almost malty, and I love using this making ice cream. It brings out a delicious flavor in your ice cream. So I highly recommend it. And you're getting all the fiber and minerals, everything that goes along with it. So the more you get used to just replacing what you're used to, it's basically retraining the way you approach baking and cooking and food.
Yep. I know you've got more slides on sugar. Here we go. Let's go.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about the ratios because I get this question all the time. Well, how much do I use? How much do I use? Okay, so this is what you need to consider. The texture. Okay, so if it's coconut sugar or date sugar, this is in a powder form. So all you do is replace it 1-to-1. Yacon, maple, honey, it's the same. Go to your flavor profile. If you like it a little bit more sweet, add a little bit more. If you like it less, add less. And you know what you can do as well? You can mix these together. And I want to talk about stevia, okay? I hear so much about stevia, but stevia is something you need to be careful. If you see white stevia, that's not stevia, okay? Here we are again. This is another bleached plant. Stevia needs to be green.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so if you go into Starbucks and you see those little stevia, stay away from that. That's a big no-no.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go and you purchase stevia, it needs to be green, and it has a different taste. It's if you like it or if you don't like it. It's not, you know, not everyone loves the taste of stevia, but if you do, this is over 200 times sweeter than actual sugar. So a little goes a long way. And I want to talk about, like, you know, if you're using butter and oil in your recipes, why don't you use a puree, a banana puree, a prune puree, an applesauce puree? We have all the fruits that you can puree and use that instead of butter or oil.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you. This is awesome. So valuable. I hope you've all got pen and paper taking notes. Thank you, Taz.
Absolutely. And you know, Steph, like I get this question all the time that people ask me, they're like, okay, you eat so healthy, you must not eat chocolate. And
Right.
I'm like, what? What do you mean? I eat chocolate. I eat tons of chocolate. And then I challenge them. I'm like, do you eat chocolate? What chocolates do you eat? And then they bring up the form of Nestle chocolate bar and all of that. I'm like, well, that's not even chocolate. Do you know chocolate is raw cacao? That is what real chocolate is all about. It's a plant. You see, they become dissociated to what the actual plant looks like, the fruit. So yes, you can have chocolate. Instead of that processed chocolate, have raw cacao. You want berries? Warm them up. It's so delicious. And you know what you can use? I love using organic frozen berries. Let's make our life easy, right? We can't always find delicious fruit everywhere if you don't live in a tropical climate like I'm in Canada. So I use frozen berries sometimes, but just make sure it's organic. And I was talking about the lucuma. So this is my favorite ice cream recipe. I freeze my bananas. Whenever they're like over ripen, I freeze them and then I make banana ice cream. So that's called nice cream, right? Because it's so nice. So I add lucuma to that, and that brings a flavor profile match to no other. It's so delicious, and I highly recommend, try it. Try it and let me know how much you love it.
Let
Okay.
us all know. Post in the A Million Mom Move official Facebook group and let us all know how your recipes go from what you're learning here. Awesome. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Whole wheat and white wheat flour. Oh my goodness, Taz, this is in everything. And what we know now is that what's in wheat, you guys? Glyphosate. Okay. So what do we use instead, Taz?
Absolutely. Okay, so this was a huge issue for me when I started transitioning with my son, and he started having the glyphosate toxicity. I had to start learning what are other ways that we can do. I didn't even know flour was an issue. I thought this was was I supposed to make bread? How was I supposed to make focaccia? I didn't know how to make anything until I started discovering other types of flour. So one of my favorite flours to use is cassava flour. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah, so cassava flour comes from the cassava plant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gluten-free. It's so easy to use. This flour, you can actually use 1-to-1 ratio as regular white flour, and it's so highly nutritious. So anything you want to bake and make, use a cassava flour.
So this came to me on the cancer journey because we're not really supposed to be eating corn with cancer. And so you got to look a little bit more for cassava, you guys. It's very well known in Asia, right? It's a root, right, Taz?
And South America. It's very much used in South America as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
is a root.
you can find products as well, like cassava chips. I'm starting to see a lot of that in the chip aisle. But anyways, keep going, Taz.
So cassava flour is also called like manioc. So if you're South American, you would know this word. So this is a lot of we make a bread with it.
Cool.
Yeah. And there's kamut flour. Kamut, we have the kamut blend, which is the Egyptian wheatgrass. There's the flour as well. And it's only less than 1% gluten. It's not gluten free, but if you're gluten sensitive, you should be okay with this flour.
Yeah.
If you're celiac, maybe not. But here are options, right? The good, better, best.
Yeah, totally. I do use coconut flour. I use almond flour when I cook now. Bob's Red Mill. Yep, he's got some amazing gluten-free flour. I haven't cooked with chickpea flour, but I'm open to that. Totally.
Oh, okay, so chickpea flour has become one of my favorite flours. Okay, breakfast, what do we love to have? Omelets, right? You can actually transform chickpea flour into an omelet.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
How amazing is that? Yes.
Oh.
And then the almond flour, coconut, nut flour. I've been loving a walnut flour lately as well.
Wow.
Pumpkin flour. There's so many varieties that we have. The coconut flour is the only one that is moisture sensitive. So you have to add more water than usual.
Right.
But
hey, Taz, I just want to bring your attention. Michelle Reed, she just wrote einkorn, which is will you speak to that? Because I've purchased that in the past and I've heard good things.
Which one?
The einkorn. It's an ancient wheat.
Yes.
It's like an old wheat. Do you know about that one?
I don't know much about that one, but if you've purchased it, is it organic?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if it's organic, I try to stay away from any corn as much as possible, and these are full of minerals as well. So I know I'm getting.
Yeah, it's not a corn flour.
Okay.
It's einkorn. Einkorn, EINKORN is the name of it. It's an ancient heritage grain. Anyways, you guys can do your own research about it. But you see, we're getting some comments here. Non-GMO, best ancient grain, unbleached wheat, organic flour. Okay, cool, awesome. So
Beautiful.
Great. Let's move on, Taz, because I know you have so many slides. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So cow milk versus plant-based milk. We were talking about that. I had no idea that milk ever even affected the body. I thought milk does a body good. The milk mustache and for our bones. We were taught we needed the calcium and we needed milk for our bone health, right? Well, let me tell you guys. No. Cow milk actually is mucus forming. It's mucus forming and it causes so many inflammation in our body. whenever we go through issues from eczema to bloating to so many things, it's because of cow milk.
Yeah, I want to speak to this for a moment because as someone who's healing cancer naturally in my body, one of the first things I heard, Taz, in terms of, the nutrition that I should be taking in was, the ixnay to dairy, right? And so I was like, wait a minute. We're saying no to dairy when we have a cancer diagnosis. Why are we saying yes to cow dairy before we get a cancer? Like, there's a disconnect here. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there that love their dairy. So this can be a really hard one, Taz, to go from cow dairy to all of these other, like I think our taste buds really need to change, right? Because we're used to the rich cow dairy, at least I was way back when I used to eat it. And it, our taste buds change when we start eating the plant or drinking, consuming the plant-based dairy. Would you agree, Taz?
I completely agree with you and I relate. I was one of those people. I was addicted to dairy. My body actually craved it. And not the skim milk, the homogeneous milk, the 3.75%. I love dairy so much, but my body was screaming of inflammation again, right? So what I love, if you love this creamy texture of milk, a great alternative is oat milk. Have you guys tried oat milk?
Yes, I love oat milk and I love coconut milk. In fact, coconut milk, that's my my go-to for our shakes. I do 1/2 water, 1/2 coconut milk.
Yes, and we have such a varieties of milk now. If you like the richness, use a coconut milk. If you're cooking, use the coconut milk. If you're baking, use an almond milk. Like, you can start playing around with different types of milk and see which flavor profile works for you.
You.
And right?
Yeah. It's so important to like really listen to your body, right, Taz? Like what do I like? Because here's what it is. What you like is what you're going to be successful with in changing your diet, right, Taz?
Exactly. But what we need to look for when choosing a plant-based milk is that the nuts are organic, because there's so many milks out there that the nuts are not organic. So now we're putting more toxins into our body. So we have to make the good choices, and an organic milk
Yeah.
is the way to go.
Yeah, I just want to let you all know, we're reserving time at the end to like really field your questions. So say if you're not getting your question answered in the chat, save it for Taz and I in the Q&A period, and we will absolutely address it. All right, let's move on, Taz.
Okay, I just wanted to mention though, because I get this question all the time, but then how am I gonna bake? What am I gonna do for buttermilk? Okay, relax. All you need to do is choose a milk. I like the oat milk, and mix it with apple cider vinegar. And then let it rest a little bit, and voila, you have your own plant-based buttermilk.
Oh, that's really cool. Wow. Wow. Total kitchen hack. I love that. And may I just also add always organic oat milk, right? Because we know that oats are laden with glyphosate. We do not want that. We don't want you to be baking or drinking with
Almonds too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Always organic.
Okay.
Yep.
Always organic. Exactly. And here's an easy way. If you have a nut butter that's organic, any nut, just put it into the blender with some water. There you go. You have your plant-based milk. So now let's say yes to plant-based butters. I guess, and this is another one all the time, but I love butter. What am I supposed to do? Is butter really that bad for you?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, so and this was, I love butter. I loved it. And now I don't love it so much. So our taste buds really do change, as we start to refine our diet, as we start to weave in, occasionally it'll get served to me and I notice immediately that something's been cooked in butter. Like my family loves to cook in butter. And will you speak to ghee? Can you speak at all to ghee, Taz? I'm just curious.
Well, I know a lot of people swear by it and they actually do use ghee, but I'm 100% plant-based and I don't use it at all. I
No.
use nothing from an animal because it still causes inflammation that I know of, but you
Okay.
know, to each their own. And if you choose to use it, just make sure it's organic.
Right. Because I know that every body is different. And there's some people
Mhm.
that swear by cow dairy, you know, and I'm like, God bless you. If that's what works for you and your family, if you're not having any gut issues or any health issues, then, you know, we're all unique. We're all individuals. So these are for, we created this for those of you who are trying to go plant-based and to get away from some of these things that we've been told and sold and marketed to ever since we were little children, that this is the way to eat. And, you know, we've learned through our own trial and error that no, actually it's created disease within us and we're trying to do better now. All right, keep going.
Ex-
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of times, you know, you think on the outside, well, I'm fine. I have no issues. Why should I change? Why should I have a plant-based butter? Just because you look good on the outside doesn't mean you're feeling good on the inside. Our bodies, when you have like eczema, this is your body's last line of defense screaming, okay? Because our skin is our biggest organ. So when it comes to your skin, you know, a lot of things have been happening in your body for years, okay?
Yeah,
So
totally.
we have to become fine-tuned with how we're eating and what we're eating. So with
Mm.
the plant-based butters, the plant-based, yes, you have to look for organic, okay, and nut-based. I love it when it's nut-based, and you have to read the ingredients because so many plant-based butters out there, there's so many ingredients. There's too many ingredients. So look for a raw coconut butter, which I love. I love to cook with that and use it raw. Coconut oil, Miyoko knows vegan butter. That's one of my favorite vegan butters. The
Yeah.
organic earth balance.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, I know you love the organic milk.
I do. And I love Miyoko's cream cheese as well. You can get it at
Yes.
Trader Joe's here in the United States. I think that's an amazing brand, the Miyoko's brand. They have so many options for vegan butters and cheeses, flavored. It's really, check it out for those of you that are here in the US. So hang on. They have Miyoko's in Canada. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there is. There
Okay,
is.
great.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Not at Trader Joe's, but we do have it. And you know, once you start doing these transitions, you know what happens? Your flavor profile changes. And now dairy milk, like cow milk, starts tasting sour. If you ever go back to it or even smell it, if they do a mistake at, let's say, Starbucks, you smell it right
Yeah.
away.
Mhm.
Everything changes, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I start craving the others. Like I don't even think about going back to cow dairy, you guys. Like it's not even an option for me. And I tried. I tried once. It wasn't because I wanted to, it's because my sister ordered me a pizza. And while
Mhm.
it was a gluten-free pizza, she didn't say vegan dairy. And so it came with cheese on it. I was like, oh, I'll just do it this one time, right? Oh my God, I was so sick. I was so
Yeah.
sick. I learned my lesson. I felt ill all night long and into the next day. And I was like, I'll never do that again to my body. My body completely rejected it.
I agree completely. I did that too. At the beginning, I kept going back and forth and I became really sick really fast. Your body really rejects it. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to mention when choosing a plant-based milk, look for unsweetened because a lot of times these plant-based milk are full of either oils or sweetener. So look for an unsweetened version, an organic version, and no oils.
Always, always. And sometimes that can be so tricky trying to find a
Mhm.
product. Like for plant-based dairy tasks, I will stand in the yogurt aisle looking at container after container to find one without sugar added. It's crazy.
Oh, yes, I feel you. I feel you completely. Okay, so let's talk about the crème de la crème, right? I hear this all the time, but what am I gonna do about my cream? I need my cream. I need a cream in my coffee. I need my cream in my whipped cream, all my cream in my soups, all of these creams. Don't worry, we got you covered. We have cashew cream. You have coconut cream. You can add potato purees in your soups. Like
Yeah.
there's so many creams available to you.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
There
And you
are.
just sweeten this.
I just tried one in the last couple weeks. Laird Superfood has a really great vegan creamer. Hmm.
Yes. Which flavor did you try?
I think it was vanilla.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
totally delicious. Hmm.
So how about cheese? Okay, this was one of the hardest parts for me becoming plant-based. I was cheese obsessed, okay? Whenever they had those cheese platters in restaurants and they wrote at the end for sharing, I'm like, no, I'm ordering the whole thing for myself because I love cheese that much. So I had to find alternative ways to make cheese, right? And mac and cheese, you know, all the kids love it. We all love it. So
You just got someone off mute there.
yeah.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, so I started using butternut squash. I would use the frozen butternut squash, an organic frozen butternut squash, mix it, puree it with nutritional yeast. And that became the most delicious cheese sauce.
That sounds so good. I want to try that.
It's so good and so easy.
Mhm.
So easy. If you pair that with a high protein like lentil pasta, you have a delicious meal right there.
Mhm.
And
Right.
we have so many vegan cheese options.
Yes.
We have so many, like the Miyokonos. There's so many options. Look for an organic label. Look for one that has minimal oil, and look for one that has no artificial ingredients.
Yeah. I do make my own pizza, you guys, with vegan cheese when I'm craving pizza. It's not that often, but I like to have it every now and again. And I actually find my vegan cheese at Trader Joe's as well. That's one of my favorite places to find. They have so many vegan options there.
So many.
Mhm.
And when I start transitioning, one of my favorite desserts to eat is a cannoli. Do you remember those, you know, those cannolis with exactly with the ricotta filling? That was my guilty pleasure. So when becoming plant-based, I was like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to have that ever again. No, that's okay. So I came up with a vegan ricotta with almond pulp. You can, if you add Himalayan salt, so now you have a savory ricotta. If you add sweetness to it, coconut sugar, any of the yak syrups, maple syrup, now you've made it sweet.
So, Taz, I'm just looking at the time, and I know you've got many more slides. I'm thinking we may need to do a part 2.
I know we have so much. Okay. So
Yeah,
should we go to Q&A now?
I think we should, and then we
Okay.
can come back. Yeah, we can come
Okay.
back and do this another time because you've got so many more.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to honor your voices in the field and any questions that you have, and we'll come back and we'll do it. It'll be a part 2 for Taz's specific presentation, but we're going to keep talking about this within Fierce Friday because it's so important and it's such a journey and it's such an evolution in our fridges, in our pantries, and in our kitchens. So bless you, Taz, for all the work that you put into this and all the work that you've been putting in all these years, my dear, because it's a lot, right? A lot of trial and error, working in the kitchen, creating recipes, finding brands that work for us. And so yeah, what do you think, everyone? Is she incredible? Right? Everyone's like, I'm hungry. You see all the messages in the chat. People are like, I'm hungry now. Yeah. So we want to open up to your questions. And one of the ones that I saw in there was about soy milk. I don't know if you want to come on and share your question in there. We'd love to hear your voice. Whoever asked that question about soy milk. Well, maybe they've gone. So I'll just speak.
Sorry, that was me. I was
Hey.
my dog's trying to run away right now. I'm outside. Yeah, I was just wondering about soy milk and what you guys kind of thought about utilizing that instead of dairy.
Well, I have some things that I could say, but I'll let Taz go. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't like soy milk, and I find that people are actually allergic to soy milk and they don't even know. It causes even more bloating, and it's so highly processed. Our whole mission is to stay away from processed foods. So I would, if we have an option of oat and almond and cashew and hemp and pistachio, so many. Why not try those instead?
I had horrible gas when I tried to do all soy way back when I became a vegetarian some 30 years ago. So, Jody, do you have anything to add?
Of course I do. Soy is one of the most heavily GMO crops on the planet. So never, ever, ever buy it unless it is organic. It is extremely hard to digest. And so for most people, you need to have it fermented before your body can properly digest it. That's why it causes so much inflammation. And I do not believe soy milk is fermented. It is very high in phytoestrogens. And for some people, people argue about this all the time. There are those who are sensitive to those plant estrogens, and it throws their hormones out of whack, especially if they do it often. Doesn't happen to everybody, but it is something to be aware of. And the other thing I'll add with the soy milk, the oat milk, the cashew milk, any milk that you buy, almost all of them have isolated, added synthetic vitamins. And if any of you out there are dealing with MTHFR, which is a genetic mutation, if you have it, you know it, they are using cyanocobalamin and folic acid, which are the synthetic versions of B9 and B12, really dangerous for those with an MTHFR mutation. So just be aware of that. Also nutritional yeast, same thing. They are using the synthetic Bs. Not everybody is though. So just do your research based on when you buy that, if that's an issue for you. Okay, now I'm stopping.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Thank you guys.
Yeah, who's that?
Sorry, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's our pleasure. So much was shared by Taz. Does anyone else have any comments or questions or particular challenges that you're experiencing with your children about going from SAD to RAD? I know I have teens and I'm still dealing with it. So I would love to hear from you if you are.
I had a question that I posed about my youngest son loves almond milk, and that's been a fine transition from my oldest son hates it. He keeps real milk, but he's young enough that he won't know if I switch to something else and say that that's real milk. But I was wondering what, and I saw in some of the comments and a little bit based on what you said, do you think coconut milk, oat milk, rice milk are going to be most comparable? Not trying to trick him, but easiest to get him, onto something else.
Yes, I think that just start experimenting, like give it to him and see how he responds to it. Kids are easily adaptable. Like, believe it or not, the more we introduce it to them, maybe they don't like it at first, but keep introducing it to them. Their taste buds change.
Yeah, and my kids are a case in point. My children were raised on dairy milk because I did not know what I know now, and they choose organic almond milk now. There is not dairy milk in our home at all now. So my story is a success story, and they're teenagers who made the choice when they were like preteen, early teens. So it's totally possible, especially when you have younger children.
Thank you, Chris.
And also on the topic of transitioning children, it's really the alkalinity out of the inflammatory. Once you start to alkaline their pH, their taste buds change like ours. And that's what the family pack is really all about. It's geared towards alkalining and slowly really transitioning out, because they won't notice the difference when the chemistry within them is already shifting.
Great point. Wonderful point. This is huge. I talk about this all the time. Thank you so much, Carmela. What we have with the standard American diet is high inflammation and high acidity, acidosis, which manifests in all manner of disease, dis-ease in the body, right? And what's so beautiful about the what Taz has just presented here and about our Purium products is that we're creating an alkaline state, a greater alkaline state. We come in as infants as alkaline, and then we watch as our, all the inputs, right? All the food, all the beverages, stress, etc., create this acidic state in the body. And so Purium and all these other plant-based choices are taking us out of that. So, and it's it's an evolution, as I keep saying, it takes time and the reintroduction, but your children will change, as will you.
Yeah, absolutely. He wants to be healthy. So that's what I just keep saying. I'm like, this is healthier. This is healthier. So we at least have that part.
You're doing great, Marissa.
Nice.
We got you. We got you.
I'm in.
I love it. Thanks
Thank
for being here. Yeah. Awesome. Who else has a question or concern or challenge with your children? Just
I
anything.
had a question.
Hi,
Hi.
Stefania. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So we were talking a little bit ago about sweetened and unsweetened almond milks and oat milks and all that. And my one friend, like when I get oat milk, I just get original oat milk. But she always buys the vanilla. Is that the same as sweetened, or is there a difference?
So this is a great question. And as someone who enjoys oat milk and enjoys both the regular flavored or original flavored and vanilla, I get both. You have to read the labels. Sometimes there's vanilla unsweetened. Or you know what you can do, you guys? I just keep vanilla in my pantry and you can just add vanilla to the milk. Right, Taz?
That's what I was going to suggest, because it's usually artificial vanilla. So just buy the unsweetened and just flavor it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Because like I was always like, I don't know if that's a chemical vanilla or not. Like, I don't know. And like she's a super vegan, so I was really I'm gonna have to let her know.
Good point, Stefania. Thanks for raising your voice.
Thank you.
Vanessa Rosas has a raised hand. You want to come off mute, Vanessa?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the best, like for the moms that are struggling with, not buying something or like trading a milk for their kids. I started giving my daughter almond milk because she was breastfed till she was like 4 years old. So the transition to vanilla milk was pretty easy because the texture, like it's pretty much kind of like the same. But my son, I started doing organic milk with him, and so for him it was, I had to buy 2 milks at a time, and then one day I was just like, I'm just gonna stop buying the cow milk and give him the almond milk little by little so he can taste it. And now that's all we drink. So sometimes the best solution is out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, agreed.
So
yeah,
I don't know if anybody wants to try that, but that's what worked for me.
Yeah, making the executive decision as mom. We're not doing this anymore. That's what I did with Cheerios, right? And he just had to like deal with it, right? Those of you who know my story with Zephyr, it's like, bye-bye Cheerios. I'm not poisoning you anymore, my son. We're making another choice. And he was like, okay, mom. So your kids will go along with you when you lay it down, like, this is not good for you, sweetheart. We're not doing this anymore. Thank you for your voice, Vanessa.
Exactly. We have the purchasing power.
Yes.
But for younger kids transitioning from the breast milk, I actually would recommend coconut milk. Coconut milk at the beginning, and then maybe later introducing the almond milk.
Yeah, it's got the higher fat, I think, Taz. Yeah. It's got that mouthfeel of fat. For me, I like it a lot.
But it mimics the breast milk. It mimics the breast milk.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Camille Ferguson, we'd love to hear from you. You have a raised hand.
Hey, yeah. Hi, ladies. Stephanie, you look amazing, by the way. I know you were on a journey. You look really fantastic. It's the first thing I noticed. Yeah. Thanks so much for this call. It's really informative. I have just a couple questions. You brought up the coconut milk. That's what I prefer in all my cooking and, tea and stuff like that. But do you guys think the canned coconut milk I usually get it, well, I had been getting it at Costco, and then I noticed it had additives in it. So I got some at Trader Joe's yesterday because it was just coconut milk. Do you think the canned coconut milk is the best option? And then my other question was with the nutritional yeast. I know they're all fortified with vitamin B, and I'm just a little confused. I know I want to stay away from those isolates, but and I don't know if you're allowed to recommend brands, but this is one area where I'm just like, I don't know what to buy. I don't know which brand is safe. I don't know how to read the label properly when it comes to that particular product.
Great question. Thank you so much. Taz, do you want to speak to that?
Well, with nutritional yeast, this is, how it works for your body, because it is fortified. So some people it doesn't agree so well with. Look for an organic brand and see how you feel. Become really in tune with yourself and just see how you feel, and don't use it every day. Don't use it often. Okay. So that would be my advice.
And then in terms of the coconut milk, do you want to speak to what she was saying about cans or the Tetra Paks? I do not love them at all, being an environmental activist. So I actually have started purchasing a powdered coconut milk that I just add water. So that's an option. I get it online. But do you have something to add to that, Taz?
Well, with the coconut milk, look for an organic one. The cans, make sure it's BPA free. And, the cans also, there's heavy metals. You do the best you can. Do the best you can, whatever you can find, just do the best you can. Be a little gentle with yourself too.
Be gentle. Yeah, exactly. And, the whole can thing is like, I've been dealing with heavy metal toxicity, several of us have. And so we have, like Taz just said, like, we want to live life, right? We don't want to be too austere. We want to enjoy, but I'll be honest with you. I believe that all of us need to be heavy metal detoxing all the time. There's a lot more I could say about that, but that'll have to wait for another Fierce Friday.
Take your fulvic, zeolite, and your barley grass before.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Did that answer your question, Camille?
Sorry, I couldn't find you. Yeah, I'm still a little confused on the nutritional yeast on, which one, like you said, Taz, just stay away, just make sure it's organic, and that's going to be the best as far as the vitamins.
I can help on this one.
Go ahead.
The Kal brand does not use synthetic vitamins, and you can get that in Canada and in the United States. Just make sure you're reading the label. They do have one that's fortified. They have one that is not. Or you can also use brewer's yeast that is non-fortified and non-acidic. That's a different option. You can go to get that cheesy flavor.
Okay, awesome. Kal. And do you get that online, Jody, or can you buy it at the store? I usually shop at Whole Foods.
I get it at my local store, but I'm sure you can get it online too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Camille. And ladies, talk to your grocers, all right? Talk to them about what you need or what you're not finding or what brands you'd like them to sell, right? Like, we have buying power, right? We have power with our grocers. Never hesitate to talk to the people that are running your natural food store, grocery store, etc. We got to raise our voices. That was me 30 years ago. Where's your organic produce, right? That's what I did, right? Those of you who heard my story, you know that about me. So it's the top of the hour. This has been so rich, so valuable. We so love being with you every Friday. We work really hard to create valuable content that you can utilize in your homes. Please join us next Friday, where we're going to be talking about those of you who are brand partners who have joined the Purium mission. Come and be with us next Friday. The council's coming together to talk about how we lead with the Million Mom movement in our businesses. All right. We cannot wait to be with you. Come and learn from our successes. We're excited to share them with you. Go out, make a widen your reach post. Let everyone know that you're in this movement, that hashtag I am the Million Mom movement. Share the petition, share the website, talk to other parents. We're doing this together. We can't do this without you. We love you. We thank God for you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.